Can you test the walkie? Good morning, I'm Erin Risley. It's 8:03. Parkway Singers is Carmel's premier a cappella group. If you like to sing and enjoy music from the movie Pitch Perfect or music by Pentatonics, then Parkway Singers might be right for you. It is a before-school honors level class that meets Tuesdays and Thursday mornings from 6:50 to 7:50. Auditions for Parkway Singers will be held on Tuesday, August 29th and Thursday, August 31st from 6:50 to 7:50 a.m. Auditions are open to anyone in the school and you do not need anything to prepare, but you must be able to attend both audition days. If you have questions about the class, stop by the choral classroom FA4 or email Mrs. Hawk at jhawk@carmelhs.org. Up next, we have Liam Brown with sports, some news from our student section leaders, and a message from varsity dance team.
Welcome in. We'll start with the girls volleyball team today, who has a tournament this weekend starting at Warren. The girls tennis team will have a varsity quad tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. at Vernon Hills. Both the boys and girls golf team will have a varsity scramble tomorrow at 11 o'clock. The course they're going to be playing is Pine Meadows. The boys soccer team will continue their tournament tonight and tomorrow at Lake Forest West Campus. They're going to have a game tonight and tomorrow. Cross country, both the boys and girls will face St. Viator tomorrow morning over at Viator. They're going to start at 10:30. And the football team gets back at it tonight, and they're going to play Crete Monee tonight starting at 7:30. You can grab your wristbands during your lunch wave today. And CDN will be broadcasting the game, but as of right now, I sat down recently with 4 seniors to talk about their upcoming senior night. We're here with Tori French and Davion Reynolds, Harlan May and Rose Henderson to talk about the upcoming football season and senior night. So guys, when's the first game? Who do you play?
This Friday versus Crete Monee, 7:30. Get there at 7 o'clock, pack the stands. Free wristbands, free entry. Friday, all lunch waves.
Friday night, it's senior night. How's it going to feel walking down the aisle with your loved ones?
It's going to be a blessed feeling, seeing all the seniors being able to do it. Now it's finally my turn, walking out with my father and my mom. Make sure I dedicate the game to them, and then the rest of my family is going to be in the stands.
It's definitely a moment to remember.
It's going to feel surreal to me. I never thought that my time would come so fast. So it's definitely going to be a blessing. It's going to be an honor to walk across that field with my parents.
Having your classmates in the stands, how does it feel having the whole community behind your back?
People you go to school with every day being there to support you, being there all the time by your side, and cheer you on in the stands, that definitely do something.
Especially on kickoff return when you got the sideline to your back, you got the student section to your back, the band playing, It's a surreal feeling. It helps you get locked in, but then once you make plays, you get excited, and they get excited. So then that's when you get the momentum and you take over the game.
They think that we tune out the crowd, but definitely hearing the stand, hearing the fans in the student section hyping us up, cheering us on is definitely a big pump for us on the field.
That was something that definitely get my juices flowing when we do our Corsair walk, and all the fans on both sides of you, they all cheering you on, everybody recording you and stuff. So that really gets me energized.
Tori French, Davion Reynolds, Harlan May, and Rose Henderson be there Friday night, 7:30 against Crete Monique.
The first thing that students should know is what it means that he's been indicted, that the grand jury has heard evidence from the prosecutor. A grand jury is just a group of ordinary citizens in these cases in New York, Miami, DC, and now Atlanta, that heard the evidence the prosecutor has that Donald Trump committed a crime. They decided that using the standard called probable cause, meaning that a reasonable person would believe this person probably committed the crime he is accused of. In all those cases, it was these groups of ordinary citizens that decided that Donald Trump probably committed the crimes he's been accused of. That's what it means that he's been indicted by the grand jury. He isn't indicted by Jack Smith or Joe Biden or Fani Willis. He's indicted by these grand juries. The second thing I would tell students to keep in mind is that this is historic. This has never happened before. They are living through history. People are going to be talking about this in their U.S. history classes 20, 30, 40 years from now. So keep that in mind. Everything that's happening in this situation has never happened before. He's not an ordinary defendant, so he's not going to be treated like an ordinary defendant. And then lastly, I would encourage students to actually read the indictments. They're all in pretty plain English. Prosecutors try to write their indictments so that the public can understand, so that their jurors can understand what they're voting on when they vote to indict. And so I would encourage students to actually read the indictments, with the exception of the Georgia case, which is a RICO charge, racketeering, and there's conspiracy charges in there. That one's pretty complicated. The rest of them are really pretty easily digestible. Although the actual court records are public, so they can get those indictments and actually read them themselves. And to me, I think being informed, informing themselves about what, the criminal justice process, again, what it means that he's been indicted, and then what these charges are from the prosecution, rather than from media or from social media or from some other source, means they're better informed and then less likely to sort of fall prey to misinformation that's out there. Again, I think that this is a historic event. It's super important. Uninformed people, especially, I think, are susceptible to misinformation. And I've heard major media outlets say things like, "Oh, Jack Smith indicted Trump on this, which just is a misstatement. That's not how the process works. I want my students to be more intelligent than the mass media. So, really, I think it's still to be determined ultimately how this plays out politically. Trump is still leading the Republican primary polls by significant numbers, although it's early in the process. Every time he gets indicted, he sees a boost in fundraising, which he's using to help pay his legal bills. Ultimately, he's skipping the Republican debate. It's all to be determined. There was an AP poll that came out last Thursday that said 53% of Americans definitely will not support Trump in the 2024 election, and another 11% probably won't. For more pragmatic Republicans that want to win back the White House in 2024, I think seeing that 64% of Americans definitely or probably won't support Trump in that election should maybe open their eyes to maybe supporting another Republican candidate against Biden in 2024. But we'll see.
Hello, my name is Chanel Nieves.
I'm Sarah Aarons.
And my name is Medcal Curry, and we are the Corsair Walk leaders. So the Corsair Walk is a march where every student marches into the stadium behind the football team in a unified manner to support our players and represent our strengths as a community. We do this to show everyone that we're ready to go to war with our football players as they perform on the field and represent our school.
We are going to be showing every class where they have to be for their Corsair Walk today. As a cue, chalk marking will indicate where each grade level should line up for this walk.
All right, so these classes are gonna be color coordinated with we have displayed up here. So like the dance and cheer will be in brown, seniors will be blue, juniors will be green, sophomores are red, and the freshmen will be yellow. So we will meet at 6:30 in the grassy area right over here behind the welcome statue. And that's where the tailgate's gonna be taking place at 4:30. So if any students are in the wrong area, they will be relocated by a student section leader. We'll be holding gold pom-poms so you can find us easily. We want this walk to go as smooth as possible. So remember, this is not a march, or this is not a race, sorry, this is a march. So make sure when we fall behind the upperclassmen or behind the leaders, there will be no running at all.
Entering the stadium, we will walk in the main gate and through the ramp. The bleachers will be marked with color-coded balloons to help each grade level find their reserved locations. The student leader sections are going to have the first 2 rows, followed immediately by the seniors. Next will be the juniors, then the sophomores, and way at the top will be the freshmen. For safety, aisles must remain cleared throughout the game. We will never stand in the aisle, and we will remain in the bleachers cheering along, when not coming or going. We will be standing most of the time, so be careful. Make sure we are moving efficiently to keep the flow consistent.
Please help keep our student section clean. Make sure to clean up throughout the game any food, drinks, or trash that you find so we can continue to bring stuff into the games. Being a part of the student section is a privilege, and we do not want to take that for granted. If we cannot be responsible with our decorations and belongings, we will lose all privileges to bring these into the stands. So let's be responsible so we can have a great and fun season. If anyone has any questions regarding the Corsair walk or the student section, make sure to find one of us in the halls before the game. And one more announcement, cars parked in the senior lot must be relocated immediately after school to make way for reserved parking. So all cars, including athletes, must be relocated by 3:30.
And this is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna have the freshmen at the top, and then you're gonna have the sophomores, the juniors, all the seniors, and then the student section leaders. These must remain clear at all times.
Welcome back. All sophomore students, Jostens will be on campus during all lunch periods today. If you are interested in ordering a class ring or other class jewelry, please be sure to stop by your lunch and speak with a Jostens representative in the cafeteria. Are you interested in theater? Do you want to know more about Carmel's theater events? Are you dying to know what this year's fall play and spring musical will be? Then you're invited to the theater kickoff party, which will be held after school on Thursday, August 31st from 3:30 to 4:30 in the auditorium. We will play games, meet some of the fine arts faculty, and current Thespian Honor Society board, and this year's show will be announced. There will also be snacks. Anyone can attend this event, but everyone must RSVP via the Google form on the 2023-2024 Carmel Theater Google Classroom. The class code is QBOPYRU. This classroom will also serve as a way to share other theater-related information throughout the year. And that's all we have for today. I'm Erin Risley. Have a fabulous Friday, Carmel.